Mark Stoneman and Ben Stokes both scored scintillating centuries as Durham racked up 406 runs on the first day of their all-important top-of-the-table LV County Championship clash at a packed Scarborough festival. On a good pitch with a super-fast outfield, Durham would have been delighted to be batting first after winning the toss, but they soon found themselves on 5 for 2 after Keaton, Jennings and Scott Borthwick were both LBW to Ryan Sidebottom, who, having passed his dad's on his number of first-class wickets last week, now took his tally to 599. In front of 6,000 expectant supporters, Yorkshire, who started this game 25.5 points ahead of their second-place visitors, could hardly have made a better start. Both teams came into this match on the back of thumping wins last week, and it was the home side who looked to make inroads early on, but they were held up by Stoneman, who was soon playing his shots on a delightful late summer's day by the seaside, an image which took many back to days gone by. Will Smith made 20 at the other end, fresh from an incredible one-day 100. He was then superbly caught by Kane Williamson at slip, as Durham slipped to 67 for 3. That brought Stokes in, and he immediately looked in good touch, striking the ball hard from the off, as he tried to make the most of the ball losing its shine. He was soon finding the boundary as the total began to move on at a pace, with the two left-handers in fine fettle. When Notts played a 4-day game at this wonderful cricket ground earlier on in the season, the match was filled with runs. It was when Andrew Gale batted forever for his 272, and a couple of months on, it still looked as if this was a place where a batsman, once in, could fill his boots. Stoneman was certainly doing that. He'd passed a 50 in the morning session, made off 70 balls, and was now racing through the numbers with a whole host of boundaries added to the 9 he hit in his first half-century. For many, Stokes should have been missing this game to play with England. Their loss was Durham's gain as he blazed away at the other end, rarely missing out on an opportunity to score as his partnership with Stoneman started to develop into something rather meaningful. And by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Stoneman was already in the 90s, and a clip 6 off Stephen Patterson took him to within 2 runs of his third championship 100 of the season. 2 balls later, he opened the face to run Patterson to the rope for his 19th 4 to get to his 100 off only 117 balls in just the 40th over of the match. It had been an awesome performance and one which was already helping his side take control of this crucial contest. And he continued to enjoy himself through the first hour of the afternoon session as he took his partnership to 128 with Stokes, that being made off 27 overs, with the opening bat being the dominant member. He moved on to 122, which was made off only 142 balls, with 98 of his runs coming in boundaries alone. But then he, for once, didn't middle a shot and nick Sidebottom behind to give the delighted bowler his 600th first-class wicket. Stoneman left with his side on 195 for 4. It was a big breakthrough, but Stokes was still there, and he reached his 50 off 91 balls soon afterwards. He was yet to really hit the lift-off button, but he still made it to the mark with 6 4s, and had helped set up things very nicely with Stoneman. Durham already having a batting bonus point in the bank. Yes, it was clear that this was a very good pitch to bat on, something to delight the Durham top order, who've had times tough at their own ground this season, a ground where scores have been low and results have been plenty. Stokes was by now playing this much vaunted Yorkshire attack with ease. He'd been joined by the county's inspirational captain Paul Collingwood, who tucked into anything short offered by Jack Brooks, who, like most of his teammates, was expensive. Indeed, of the main bowlers, only Patterson went for less than 4 runs per over. And that meant that Stokes could at last get to 3 figures this summer. A glorious straight drive off Brooks took him there off 136 balls, that being his 14th 4. It was a tremendous knock from a player who still surely has a big international future ahead of him. He then added to his scoring by depositing Adil Rashid over the rope for a big 6, as he quickly moved on to 127 after dominating a 5th wicket stand of 120 in 27 overs with Collingwood. Trying to repeat that shot off Rashid cost him his wicket as he top-edged to Johnny Bairstow, His 127 had occupied 160 deliveries, and he left with his side already on 315 for 5, with 21 overs of the day still remaining. Yorkshire must have been praying that the worst of the damage had been done, and with the second new ball soon available, they could end the day just as they'd started it. That was not to be the case, as another big partnership was developed between Collingwood, who got to a 50 off 106 balls with 8 fours, and Phil Mustard. Collingwood was not about to give his wicket away either. The job of rubbing salt into the wounds was then picked up by Mustard, who also found scoring boundaries a fairly easy process. By the end of the day, the Durham top 7 had struck 63 fours and 2 sixes on what was certainly not one of Yorkshire's better days in what has been an exceptional season, one which has given them a great chance of winning the title in their 150th year. Mustard may not have been too happy with himself when he was LBW to a reverse sweep off Williamson with just 10 balls of the day remaining, but it was a minor blip and an otherwise excellent day for his side. They ended it with maximum batting bonus points already secured on 406 for 6, and Collingwood will be hopeful of posting a total in excess of 500 on day 2. He will go again looking for his first 100 of the summer. He'll resume on 74.